Happy 5th of July, traders. I hope that you all got some R&R this weekend, had some good barbecue, enjoyed some sunshine. I know I sure did. Let's start off talking about market conditions, and we are living in indexes all at exhaustion risk here, as you can see on the monthly chart. Does that mean they can't go higher? Nope. Just means you need to be aware, and you may want to change how you swing trade. The smart thing to do right now is look for relative strength, those things that are going to up on the month or close to going to up on the month and the quarter is nice. There is one setup at least that I will show you that's more of a reversal play, but I'd be more hesitant to take those kinds of trades right now. And just keep in mind, this is for educational purposes only. Take trades at your own risk. This is not financial advice. One thing that's a little bit interesting and somewhat concerning to me is that when we look at absolute breadth, which means are most of the stocks in the stock market participating in this rally, the answer is no. Market breadth is very, very low right now. Really strong rallies typically participate across all sectors, and that old saying, a rising tide lifts all boats, that is not the case right now. So could that change? Yeah. I mean, when we get into earnings quarter two earnings in a couple weeks, we could see that in fact a lot more stocks come in and then we're off to the races. It could reverse, we don't know. And that's why right now, if you're trading, I think you have to be a lot more selective and just not trade as many names and as much, possibly. So let's get into it. Let's start with first name. This is really the only reversal that I'm going to show you, and the stops I'll show you are fairly tight, taken off the hourly, which I normally wouldn't do, especially on a weekly time frame. But right now, it's kind of either these things are going to go or they're not, and I don't think it's appropriate to give a lot of extra room right now, just given where we're at. So a lot of these are reporting soon. Delta reports the 14th, so part of what I'm looking at is a relative strength play possibly, and an earnings play. With Delta, this is probably the only one that's not a relative strength play from the standpoint that it isn't breaking the previous month's highs, right? But it's at the bottom of the broadening formation, looking at an entry of 44.43, stop of 44.01, targets of 45.77 and 46.50 roughly. Then Dash, I'm going to play this. Here's the broadening formation, and let me make this smaller for a second. We're looking at the fact that it's going 2 up on the month and the quarter, sign of relative strength. Entry of 184.62, targets of 195.34 and 202.81. Very tight stop here at 181.87. Home Depot and Dash reports 8/12, so you have some time on that one. Home Depot reports August 17th. The others that I'm going to show you report in the next 2 to 3 weeks, so that run up in earnings could help, could happen. So on the weekly, we're looking at the break of 323.15, stop of 321.48. The play I'm really looking for is up to roughly 329, but you'll see I've marked some other areas that could get caught up here at 324.64 and 325.81. But once again, we've gone 2 up on the month. We're above the body. Granted, the strat signal is above the wick, but we are 1 up and then 2 up on the month. Netflix. Let me just show you here. Again, 2 up on the month. Starting to break the body on the quarterly. Tight stop here for Netflix. Either these things go or they don't. My target is really this 556.97. They report on the 20th. So this is a good one to possibly take out a couple weeks. I'm going to post some different strikes you can consider, and you've got to determine, again, with swings, it's often better to give yourself some more time, because if you give yourself a week, you got to be right about time and direction, and sometimes it gets to exactly where you expected it to go, but it takes a week or two longer. You could also do one of each, but I will post the various strikes that you can check out and determine on your own under resources in this video. But target here 557, and then QCOM. Again, we haven't quite gone 2 up on the month, but it's not too far off, so I'm looking for that break at 143.85, which consequently would be awfully close to the quarterly break as well. They do have earnings the end of this month, so you often get that nice run up. First target at 149.61, then possibly up to 153.32. Qualcomm isn't always the biggest mover on earth, so you could consider this week's expiry 145s, or out another week 145s. They both have a ton of open interest. Like I said, I'll post that for you guys to look at. And then I think this is the last one. United Health. They report the 15th. United usually likes to run into earnings. This thing can really move. Tight stop here. Let me just show you really quickly. We haven't taken the month up yet, but it certainly started, and we are headed up here on the quarter. So typically that run up on earnings, XLV is strong too, so it's part of a sector that's running. Could be that we get possibly all the way up to, let's clone this 418. A lot of this depends on what pre-market looks like, and I'll go over what I look for in pre-market and how to trade that in the other video I'm going to record today. But those are what my targets would look like here if I was trading UNH. And yeah, that's about it. Right now, I think it's all about stock selection and just being careful. And if nothing looks good, just sit on your hands. I mean, there'll be a lot more market movement as we hit earnings, our quarter 2 earnings reporting in a couple weeks. And that's all I've got for you. I will include my rules and strikes I'm looking at. Let me just throw those up here in the event that it'd be nice if I could move them. this one doesn't want to be moved. That's really interesting. Huh. Love it when my computer doesn't cooperate. Here we go. Oops. Or not. Technology, I love it when it works. There's my rules. Give you a minute to look at that, and I'll grab the possible strikes y'all could look at. And then we will post those as well. But thanks for listening. If this is helpful, please smash the like button. I would really appreciate it. It does take quite a bit of time and energy to make vids, and it's very helpful for the algorithms. If you like what you're seeing, then I'll keep doing it. Thanks so much, Striders. Happy trading.